Good afternoon again. It's Sunday, June 11th. We are previewing our Nasdaq Automated trading system here with one contract on each of the three charts. Two 7 NT Renko charts and one 8 NT Renko chart. For this past week of 6/4 to 6/7, that's Sunday, June 4th to Wednesday, June 7th. Now all charts have 27 tick targets. We will not trade on Thursday because that is contract rollover day, or Friday. We're not going to trade Friday either. Now, you don't want to take the first trade of the contract series on a Friday. Now, the purpose to show three charts is to explain more clearly what diversification looks like. I will explain as we go. I'm starting the system. This is June the 4th at 5 p.m. This is when we start our trading. Okay, as you can see, I have three different strategies. Three different strategies on three charts. A number 7, a number 7, and a number 8. Now this big chart here, this number 8, that is my most conservative. I really like this chart. It can handle high volume. It doesn't trade much in low volume days. Now, we saw this week in advance a week ago coming up, anticipation of James Comey's testimony, and we knew it was going to be a slow week. So diversification can help you in those situations and turn out quite nicely. Now, on all of the other videos on our website, you see one chart and you're looking at one chart trading three contracts. Well, here you only have one, so you still have three contracts. Your exposure is not any greater. In fact, it's less because you're diversified. Each one of these trades will enter differently. Now, what you have not seen, and then today is the first day you will get a chance to see that, is the springtime trade. Now, what this is, it's the same trade as the regular spring trade, except we changed the entry system. Well, seems simple, right? Just change the entry system. When we changed it, it did some other things that we weren't really anticipating. And that's what happens with programming. Sometimes you fix one thing and you create another issue. So we looked at it, and at first we said, oh, we're going to have to fix this. Well, we didn't fix it because we realized that, hey, once you change the settings around and got some better numbers, this thing started doing good. So we left it. However, we have some other settings that have even looked better on the trade. You know, I'm not too proud to say that sometimes you discover things by accident. Well, when I turned it on, it started making all this money, and I was like, wow. And I had a big stop on it, but not intentionally. And you kind of discover that, hey, if you let the system work, it works itself out nicely. So you will experience this. All of these trades, the springtime and the spring, have our proprietary stretch system on there. And it has other things that are unique to us and what we do built inside. For instance, if you want to have a stop, if you want to stop trading after 2 wins, in your first 2 trades of the day or wins, it can stop. You set it to number 2. If you want to take 1 trade, stop, and it will stop after the first win, or 3. We like 2, but 3 is very good too. It doesn't always hit 3 wins in a row. So you have to realize that you'll be trading a little more because you might have 2 wins, and then if you have it set on 3, it might take a loss, and then you're back and forth. Now, if the first trade is a stop out, well, then that little parameter doesn't even come into play. So the trades will do some really neat things here in explaining diversification. Now, I'm running this on 200 speed, so when it starts trading here, I'll be able to explain a few things. So what you've seen is Sunday night, it kind of gapped down a little bit at the open, and kind of sideways. I mean, we knew it. It's sideways. There's nothing but sideways here. So nothing really going on. Now, before we can take a trade, we have to get a blue line across the screen, and that's our stretch system being activated, which means after that we can take a trade when the correct criteria is set up. And the reason is we've watched sometimes, so many times, that the market's sideways like this and can't get out of its own way. So we force it to move. You see it started to move, there's your blue line. Now the 2-7 charts will draw the lines the same area.
Order pending.
You see the 8, it didn't do it yet. You still can't trade on the 8.
Order filled.
Okay, so what happened here? We got in here, and it went straight up, 27 tick target. There you go. On the Nasdaq, that's $135 minus $5 commission. You see it, $130. So, okay, now what's happening on this one? Well, this one didn't get in yet. Now you have your blue line over here. So when you look up here, it tells you what's going on. You're in the 7 Renko, the one down here, and it's in. Now you have another system.
Order pending.
Now you have the 8 is in because you got your blue line.
Order filled. Order filled.
You're trying to trade. You see it goes quick, but we're running in at 200 speed, so you have to understand that. If I slow it down too much, it takes too much of everybody's time. So this gives you a quick look at what's going on. This one, number 8, it's in a trade. It's short. You see, one contract, it's short. It's struggling to go. It may go, but it's short. Okay, we have made $260 on the spring trade, this trade down here. You had a couple wins and you're done. Well, let's see. Yeah, you had a couple wins. I think we have that set on 3. But if you had it set on 2, it would automatically stop. It won't trade anymore. So over here, we finally got in this trade. And sure enough, it backed up and had a win. So it had one win. Okay, so it's about 1 o'clock here, p.m. Central Time.
Order pending. Order pending.
And we're in again. This time, it's saying long. It wants to go long. Also, our other 7 chart got in. Now, they're all in at different areas.
Order filled.
Okay, let me explain what just happened. Let me stop this. Just looking back here, it showed, you could see we were in 3 trades. One was long, second one was long, and then one was short. So it's only showing that one was long because the opposites cancel out. Okay.
Order filled.
End of day. End of day. End of day. Down $75 for the day. It reflects it up here on the 8 chart. The 7 did well. It did $235. And then the springtime trade did $120. It had gotten in again to go long and just timed out at the end of the day. We have time clocks that show us and stop the trade, so we come out of the market. We don't carry any margin overnight. We always out of the market flat at the end of each trading day. Okay, so next thing, you don't have to touch the system this way. You can just let it go. You don't have to reset anything or do anything. You see, I'm not touching it. All I'm doing is talking here. This at 5 p.m. Central Time. This is our white line. This is the open. So if you're Eastern Time, it's 6 p.m. And we'll just start. See what the system does. It has the capability to keep you out of sideways markets. I mean, and that's very, very important. Hard to do in automation. Okay, you can see here on the 7 chart up here, it drew the line on both of those, so now I can trade. So on your way down, we'll tell you that your first trade here on the 7 charts will probably be a long. This is still at nighttime. You can see very sideways market. We talked about that. We knew that this week was going to be pretty sideways. And they may move it overnight because what's important to us here in the United States, and it doesn't mean that the Asian market, they pay attention to us during our trading hours, but they trade overseas. And so, you know, anything can happen. So that's why we have the stretch system built in there. So if it does move enough, we'll be willing to take a trade. But many times we don't trade much overnight if you're here in America. You can though. You can. It just depends. You can see how sideways it is. So we're, over 6 hours and the market didn't move too much. Now, we're on the last couple of days of the 617 contract series. And when you get close to it, a lot of traders or institutions start switching over to the new 917 contract. Okay, I'm going
Order pending.
I wanted to stop it to show you that the first one got in, then the second backed up, and it enabled the second one to get in. It's a little pullback. And then this one here on the number 8, it can't trade yet because it doesn't have a blue line. Which pretty much means it hadn't gone anywhere. And you're 6 o'clock, you're 12 hours into trading and it hadn't gone anywhere. So this is one of the nice things about the number 8 chart, is real conservative. Now, we're into 2 long trades and we're down a little bit on both of them.
Order pending.
Okay, you had to stop out here on the 7, and then it reversed and almost hit the target. You can see it's like a tick away from that target. So the stop didn't move you in profit. So you got about 8 ticks on that trade. And there's another important thing that I want to mention about automated trading, just because it popped up in my head. I've been wanting to speak about this, is we've traded gold and crude oil for years, and we always were uncomfortable in the live market about slippage. Well, guess what? We don't get that kind of slippage with the Nasdaq. We get great fills. We're real happy with them, and
order pending.
It helps you keep your whole structure together and get to your target just that much quicker. Now, what's going on is you can look up here. We're in 2 trades.
Pending.
Okay. Now, at 8:43 in the morning, we are Tuesday morning. It has a blue line and now can start trading. Looks like it'd probably be a short trade if it comes back down. Now we hit the target up here on the springtime trade, and we also hit the target on the spring trade number 7. Number 7. Both of these are number 7. And the spring trade, by the way, is in again. When you see these green dots, that's your target. It's up here. It's hard not to take it off when it gets here. If you don't see it,
Order
let it go.
filled.
Let it go through it. There you go. There you go. Went through your target. So you're flat for the day. Let's see. We're still 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Order pending.
And here we go again.
Order pending. Order pending.
Okay, so we're in all three now.
Order filled.
So we really is telling us it's time to get going here. You can see we hit our target on the 8. So we got one win on the number 8 chart. Here we had a little, looks like we had, well, we're short here. We're short. It's a little negative, but it's fine. You have to let the stuff go. We hit a target here. We're up 390 on the springtime trade. So quite nice, quite nice. And it had 3 wins, so it won't trade anymore. We have it set at 3. It won't trade anymore after that.
Order filled.
Okay, we got a partial win here on the 7. It almost hit the target. It was a tick away. So we had a nice day. We're up $820.
Order pending.
And still can trade. How about that? I'm not a big fan
Order
of late
pending.
trading, but you know what? You gotta
Order
let it go.
filled.
And look what it did. It did stop out. It reversed here. We got a little red line. Then it switches to green, and it hit the target. So you're doing okay. Gave a little bit back, but we're up at 820. We're flat on the day here at 715, and that's the 6th. Okay, we're starting here. It's 5 p.m. Central Time. This would be Tuesday evening. You can see the number 8 chart for the week. It's only up $55. So very slow so far. But the other ones are doing nicely. Springtime's making good money. As you can see again, starts off in the evening and it's barely moving. And when it's like this, you could expect the number 8 chart to not even trade because it has to move before it can meet the criteria. Now, this is Wednesday coming up. Well, it's early in the morning, but we do have some news out on Wednesday. So it will pick up here. But you can see it's real sideways. I mean, you can see after 12 hours of trading, you're in the same spot. Okay, you see the 7 charts. We got the line, so now we can trade. That finally moved up, so your first trade will be a short.
Order pending.
There it is.
Order pending.
Almost to the target. And you see, when you look at this, when you look at these yellow dots, that's your entry limit order, but it's back from the initial one on this other 7 chart. So what that means is you don't have as far to go. You see here, if you made a double bottom, you would hit your target. On this trade, you have to go and make a new low. So, little things like that can make a big difference. So we'll see what happens.
Order filled.
They both hit.
Order pending.
Okay, so now the market's moving. It's around crude oil inventories this past week time, and the market's moving.
Order pending. Order filled. Order pending. Order filled.
Okay, we had 2 of them in there. We had 1 long and 2 shorts.
Order pending.
And then it reversed and hit the target. So you got most of your money back on that loss, and that's what it'll do over and over and over.
Order pending. Order filled.
Okay, there you go. And this is Wednesday. It's well, that's 1:30, so it's about ending time over here. This one we let run till 3 p.m., which is 1500. So, okay, we did good. We did real good. This is it. This is the week. We'll let it run a few more minutes here in case it gets in a trade. Well, you can see on the 3 contracts being diversified, you made $1,500. Now, if we were just trading the 8 chart the whole week or the whole 3 days, you made 60 times 3. So you made $180 rather than $1,500. So this is where diversification really pays off. And you can set your charts up like this. You can watch the strategies work right here. Now, this springtime, we're delighted what we see with it. So, again, it's the same trade, different entry, but it's doing real well. And the regular number 7 spring trade made 540 and only 60 on the number 8. It didn't trade too much. You saw it had a couple of stop outs. It had some wins, but it's just the kind of market that we've had on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Just it couldn't, but you didn't lose money either. You didn't lose money on that. But the diversified approach can work for you. So we hope you like this. What we'll do real quick before we go is we'll look at a performance report from 6/4 to 6/7. We'll generate that report. And here it is. Okay. We made a total of $1,500 for the week. That's on 3 days. That's excellent. Now, the next day, Thursday, was contract rollover. So I've said all along that this is a $2,000 a week system most weeks with 3 contracts. But you can trade on Thursday, and there's no need to try and start off a brand new contract month or a series on the first day on a Friday. So I didn't trade on Friday. That number 8 chart did real well because it didn't move. So it did get a little bit more, but I didn't trade live for that reason. Total net profits 1,500. Look at this profit factor, 3.22. We had a total of 25 trades. Now that's all 3 charts combined, and that's an 80% profitability. So very, very nice. You can't expect more on automation than something like this. You just can't. And while we're at it, let's look at the periods. Okay. Well, we only had 3 days. Okay, made 280, 435, 785 combined each day with the 3 charts. So very nice. This is a great way to see diversification. We believe in it. We know it works. And there's no reason that this can't work for you. It works for us. It can work for you. So thank you for attending our video, and more to come.